Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here live to you from Toronto, Canada. It's always a pleasure to share with you our Saturday segments, trainings every single week without fault. Throughout the holidays, obviously, we're probably going to be having some updates during Christmas time. You know, obviously, we want to spend time with the family during the holidays. Some of you want to spend time with the family and so forth. So, obviously, we'll let you know as this unfolds. Now, this morning, the training we want to talk about, well, let me rephrase that. It's more of a Q&A session. So your participation is very, very, very important. Now, Tammy and I are going to go through some of the common basic knowledge that are required to build a business. And this is a recorded call, folks. So again, once this call is done, you just go back to that same link. You click on to join this, and it will just take you from the beginning. And of course, you can always pause and listen to these recordings. Before we begin, I'd love to always recognize all the folks here. I just want to make sure everybody had a chance to mention where they are from. So Regeneration Zone, congratulations, man. Well, man, or I'm not sure if it's a man or a lady. Just, well done. I mean, you're doing absolutely phenomenal. Keep up the great work. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Delia, welcome from Delia, UK. Great to have you here. Guylaine, bonjour, bonjour. C'est un plaisir de vous avoir parmi nous. Dans la province de Québec, c'est un plaisir. Enionam from Ghana, welcome. Accra, Ghana, more specifically. Great to have you here. Let's see. We have here digital and affiliate marketing. Sue from Colorado. I was looking for a name. Great to have you here. Roy, great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Gloria from Pennsylvania. Great to have you here. Let's see. Lori, great to have you with us from North Carolina. Remember, Tammy, we used to take our Tesla. We used to drive all the way down to Florida, and we were passing North Carolina, South Carolina.
One of our pit stops.
Okay, so Christopher, welcome. Let's see here. We have Agatha from Cape Coast, Ghana. Great to have you here. We have Jeffrey from Ghana. We have Louis from Puerto Rico. Awesome. Great to have you here.
Great
we
energy.
have Francis from Ghana. We have Christopher from Nigeria. Awesome. We have President from Nigeria. Great to have you here. We have Andrew, USA. We have Julie from Midland, Michigan. Great to have you here. We have Jeffrey from Accra. We have Kim from Florida. And we have Michael from Trinidad. Oh, Tobago. My mom is from there. Awesome. Great to have you here. Yes, I'm half Trinidadian. My mom is from Trinidad and my father is from Quebec. Okay. Let's see. We have Tisa from Accra. We have Sherry. Welcome. And I think Roy already welcomed you. This is awesome. Okay. So, Tammy, what are your thoughts on today's segment?
Guys, open up. This is your time to ask questions wherever you're finding that you're having challenges, whether it's in the back office or the building activities. We're here to support you. And obviously, we do training segments like the Success Cycle series, where you have the series of activities on things that we need to do on a daily basis, which is the prospecting, inviting, following up, all of that stuff. But we really want to spend some time with you that showed up, that we could help you grow your business.
Yes. So remember, again, just to recap briefly, there's two things we do in this business. One, we install the software. We make use of the software. So there is an emotional connection to the fact that my data is safe. I'm telling you, I love the GotBackup service. I use it all the time. I share my files through this. My entire computer is backed up. We're going to walk you through all of this. The second thing we do is we go through the 4 benchmarks. We make sure that people duplicate the 4 benchmark. You will find that the top people, you know, when you look at your back office, I'll show you the leaderboard, and you see the people that are in the top income, you know, of all time. What's happening is we are following the principles of duplication. The key to success in this business is to duplicate the simple, basic steps. That's what we do. There's 2 things we do. So let's begin. Let me share my screen here. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I think everybody's familiar with that. When you go to your GotBackup page, okay, and in fact, if I put my ID here, okay, so most of you, this is what you will see, okay? And from there, what you want to do is you want to hit log in. But just for your reference, if you, let's say someone wants to sign up, you know what I do? I actually click on Get Started Today. Look what happens. it will add a little bit more parameters into the address bar. And this is the link that I'm going to pass on. Okay, I'm going to sign it, a word or whatever in an email, whatever it may be. But the point here is it puts them right there. Okay, and then someone, and I recommend for people to sign up for the year. That's what I recommend. Of course, if the bank is a little tight right now, of course, sign up by the month. You can always upgrade a little bit later. Okay. And then when you sign up for the year, it takes them right on the page for them to get started. They put their information over here, their contact details over here, and the form of payments. You can pay with your credit card or you can pay with crypto. It's as simple as that. If you don't know what crypto is, then ignore that. If you understand what crypto is, then obviously take advantage of it. And it's you have access to every single coins that are available, pretty much most of them, which got backup through their process will convert it into the dollars and so forth. Okay, so this is how you sign up, and then you press purchase, and then you go from there. Okay, so I'm not going to go beyond that in this particular case. So let's go back to logging in. Now, Tammy is also going to pay attention to.
Yeah, Chris, you have a question here as you're on that page.
Okay.
So you've got the digital.
Even though I
marketing.
purchased, so let's put the question right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So even though I purchased a paid God backup plan, it doesn't show up under my digital tool on SendShark, so I can follow the video, etc. And what does it mean to activate? Do YouTube and okay. I'm not sure if I'm clear on your question here. Let's confirm here. Show up under digital tool. It's okay. You're gonna have to clarify your questions, but to activate, what it means is exactly come up to this page over here. Okay, this is how you activate. What we mean by activating is we want the prospect that receives the email to actually click here. That's what we mean. Okay. Okay, so we'll carry on from there. So let's move forward. So let's log in. Okay, so then I'm going to put my ID and my password, and it will take me into the back office. Okay, this is your welcome screen, folks. Now, over here, you have a video you can watch, right? And you can always go to the GotBackup dashboard. You can use the promotional tools or an overview of the compensation plan. So Tammy, in your opinion, where should we begin?
Okay, so let's start at the top on the left, Chris.
Okay.
Going to the use this tool, because that's the first thing that we want to make sure people are doing is setting up their devices, making sure everything is backed up. Like Chris said, you got to build your belief around the tools itself. And so.
Take it a few minutes here.
Okay. Yeah, guys, we had some internet challenges yesterday when we did the presentation. We were hoping that we wouldn't have the same thing today.
Mm-hmm. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, come on. Chop, chop. Okay, so here's what, okay, here we go.
There we go.
So at this point, I'm going to log into the new Better Cloud. Most of you won't see that. It's because we were in right from the beginning where we have the original cloud. And once you're here, they'll carry on, Tammy.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so here's a few options that some of you are not aware of. Let's say that you forgot your ID and your password. You're able to get here, or you would like to modify your password. You click on Edit Login Detail. Okay. Once you're here, you can't change your login ID. This has to be done by corporate, but you can change your password. You can also change your email. Okay. If you click on the I, which obviously will not do because it's a recorded call, you can change your password to something else that you won't forget. Okay. And then you can save it and update it. It's as simple as that. You can also click on this to access your cloud. So if I click on that, okay, what's going to happen, it's going to get right into my cloud. And you can see here, I have two computers that are backed up. I have my Mac, which is 1.14 terabyte, which took about a day and a half or so. That's a lot of data, folks. And over here, I have my PC. Okay. This is what's behind me over here. Okay. Once I'm in Florida, I will have a third one over here. I'll be backing up my computer in Florida. Okay. And the reason is because I want to access all my data. If I want to bring the stuff in Florida back here in Toronto, I can do that once it's backed up here. But right now, my computer is physically in Florida, so I can't access it until I get there, which will be in January. Okay. You'll notice here that you have all the data, and it's not a copy of your cell phone information that you backed up. It's a reference to the one that you probably have backed up before, which is this one over here. Okay. What you see here is exactly what you see here. It's more like a reference. So it's easier to identify the directory that points to your phone. And from there, when I click on this directory, okay, I sort, by the way, I sort this by descending and by name because I want to see this particular order. So 2024 is the most recent one. And obviously we are in December. I will double click here. And these are some of the things that I did yesterday. Okay. A lot of time I will save some TikTok or Instagram videos because I find they are very useful. They have sometimes amazing data, amazing information that I want to come back to. So I save those and it goes into my phone and then my phone obviously uploads everything in real time. Okay. And we'll come back to the phone details a little bit later. And here are all my collaborate and share files. This is my PC over here. This is this computer that I'm presenting from. This is the one that I did because I was in Florida when we first started this, and I was able to back up my Florida computer. This is my iPad mini. Okay. This one over here that I backed up. Okay. Remember, we got 6 terabytes, folks. I mean, I'm going to upload
all devices. Yes.
everything. I mean, you have some external drive, you have some memories, flash drives, whatever. You can put them all here. This is the iPhone I was showing you, and that's another backup that I did way back. Okay. So this is, again, to point you directly to your cloud. You can click on that right away. Let's just say that you're running out of space. Like me, I'm a bit of a data hugger. Okay. You can see that I'm a little bit past half point. And at one point, I took a promotion. I added another terabyte. So instead of 6, that's where you see 7 here. So simple. You click on those links, and it will give you the opportunity for you to update. Now it's actually 2 terabytes, right? That's really, really cost effective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's a really good price.
Yeah. When you look
when you're dealing with family too, when I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, this is massive for families. And, adding additional members is such an easy process. Maybe, Chris, I could just share that with everybody. I know you're
yeah, sure. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, add additional member. Just click on that and just put my name just for fun.
Okay, so I'm going to put Tammy.
Many people ask me that question. How do I do it? It's so simple, you guys.
Oh, okay, maybe it doesn't like my name.
Yeah, just put Tammy.
Okay. So now what's going on? Oh, you go ahead, Tammy.
Page is refreshing. So you're going to copy that link and you're going to share it with the person that you want to share your data storage with. So and then they're going to open it up.
I'm not going to share it, but see, that's the link that's going to be shared, right?
Exactly. So
do you want me to open it up, Tammy?
You don't have to go there.
Okay. Let's go back here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, go ahead.
So they're going to open it up and they're going to create their own username password, so they have access to theirs. Okay, so it's really that simple, you guys. And yeah, so you can add as many people as you want. Get rid of the tests. So if you want to get rid of a name that's there, you obviously click the X.
So you can see here that I'm using a lot of space, right? So what's happening is it's dividing this, and unfortunately there's just no more space. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. And the way this works, once you get rid of it, it will turn around and it's going to reset that up. Okay. So it's going to take a minute or so, but let me just refresh the screen.
Yeah. Make sure you don't get rid of any members if they've uploaded their stuff and maybe deleted stuff on their
Yeah.
phones and stuff like. Be careful with that, obviously.
Yeah. If
But
you have given someone space,
yeah.
okay, and they have uploaded their things, if you click delete, it is gone. So
Hmm.
be mindful of that. Okay. Just keep in mind. And the way this work is when you actually share your drive. See, what's happening is I'm using a lot of space. So for me, it's not a good idea. It's only $9 a month. And I would prefer probably if I have a member family, I'll pay their $10 and whatever. And then, if they really needed one. But at the end of the day, folks, it's really inexpensive. What happens if you have, let's say, 7 terabyte, it will give you 2.5 and 3.5 and 3.5. See what it does, it goes in equal proportion. If you have 6 members, then it's going to give each and every one of them 1 terabyte. And I know that GotBackup is working on that. So I can choose, listen, I just want to give 500 gigs to that person, right? So if I have, for example, 7 terabyte, I will be left with 6.5 terabytes. So these are things that they're working on and future versions, but just to keep you in mind. Tammy, was there anything else you want to add? I know we have some questions here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the questions as you do that. And you want to address the questions right away?
Yeah, let me just go through this because that's what the call is all about. Is Tammy and I can go ahead and explain everything. And keep in mind, we'll use the hour. And if we need to do another call for part 2, then we'll do that. Let's see here. As without being, no idea
Okay, so
how.
Richard Billy was talking about
Chris, there's a lot of new people. Maybe you can clarify. This is Kim here. Maybe you can clarify the focus on the 4 benchmark. Yes, I
yeah,
will
we're going to do
definitely do
that.
that. It's on the
Definitely,
agenda,
Kim.
Kim.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Absolutely correct. We will do that.
Yeah, we're going there next. Yeah.
I have over 400 non-personal referral. This is Lewis. All on my right leg. I have been promoting GBU through. Haven't been able to recruit on my left side. Okay, we'll cover some of the benefits that you have with that, Lewis. Absolutely.
Yeah, through the
So
benchmarks.
these are compensation plan. I will come back to that. And you know what, guys? If let's say Lewis and Kim, let's say I didn't bring up your question, and I'm in the middle of a discussion on the comp plan, please post it again. It would be very helpful because as there's a lot of questions popping in, I might get overwhelmed. They need to add a lot of training stuff into the website. Okay, yes, and keep in mind that there is a lot of trainings, but let's focus on the basics at the moment.
Yeah, Chris, above Kim, there was Richard, and he's talking about not knowing how to do the backup on his laptop. So that's why
Okay,
we're
well,
here
that's what we're
right
going to do
now
right
in
now.
this section.
So
Yeah,
we're going to do right now. That's
Richard.
Richard.
Yes.
So let me show you. So
Okay.
here's what I highly, highly recommend. Right now, these are, and this is the challenge that often people don't click this button. They don't watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can watch it on the Mac or you can watch it on Windows. Okay. So most people here probably are on Windows. But if you happen to be on the Mac, watch it first. If you've never installed this, make sure you log in. Okay. Again, I went to the GotBackup and I went to use this tool, and then it will take you here. Okay. And then I suggest that before you start downloading things, if you've never installed anything on your computer ever in your life, then watch the video first. So let's click on this one here and let's take the time and watch this.
And if you're like me, you want to stop it, start it, stop it, start it, and do the instructions as they illustrate it.
Okay, so you can always stop and restart. So let's watch that video because I have a feeling that for some of you, that may be the very first time you're doing this. Okay, let's watch this.
Now, in this example, I'm using Windows 11, but it's the same process installing on a Windows 10 computer also. So let's
Can't hear it.
We're going to head to the left-hand tab where it says Digital Tools Backup. Use this tool and click that. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm using a Windows computer, so I'm going to go ahead and click Download for Windows. Depending on your internet speed, this may take a couple of minutes. Once your download is complete, we're going to go ahead and open up the file. Depending on where you put your downloads by default, that's where it's going to be downloaded to. Mine is set to downloads, so I'm going to go ahead and double-click and install. And then we'll just follow the instructions. This is where it's telling you where it's going to put the actual application. Click Next. Okay, I want a shortcut on my desktop. Next. And then it's going to go ahead and install. Awesome. So now it's going to ask you to put in your login details again. I'm going to go ahead and put in mine. So this is where the one-click set and forget comes in. The backup is basically starting in the background. You can close this if you want. And basically, right here, it's going to tell you what's backing up and how much. Depending on how large your hard drive is, this might take a couple of hours or maybe all night. So it's always good to pre-plan when you're going to do your initial backup, because it might be bigger than what mine is. So while this is backing up, you can just leave this in the background. And also keep in mind that since it's working in the background, you can check in this task manager right here that it's still on. And if you want to get back to that same window, you can just right-click and open Control Panel, and it'll bring you back over here. It will update you on where you're at with your backup. Okay, now it says that it's all backed up. If you go into your account, you can now see this is the device that they just backed up. If you have more computers or devices, you will see more on your dashboard right here. Now, let's say I want to restore back onto my computer. It's very simple. I can either come right here, click Restore, and it's going to tell me to come back to my main dashboard on my desktop and restore there. I'm going to put in my account password real quick. And it's going to load this file tree for you. This is the Windows on this laptop, the C drive, and this is everything that was backed up. So as an example, let's say I want to restore my videos that were uploaded to my backup cloud. This PC users, this is my username right here. Let's say I want to set back up some videos. Let me just put a temporary folder on my desktop just to show. And I'm basically going to follow the same file path that I did on my original hard drive, and you'll see that everything is backed up. Videos. And I'm going to restore to this folder on my desktop. My desktop, it's right here, the shortcut. So, it's going to restore. This is a brand new folder, so it's not going to overwrite anything. This is just for the example. It's going to restore. And you can do this for your whole computer if you need to. You can restore everything that was basically backed up. It's really that easy. I'm just doing this for an example. And here we go. So, there you go. It's truly a set and forget solution.
Okay, so let me come back.
Hello,
Okay,
GotBackup.
sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, something happened to my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so from there, as you can see, it's a very simple process. So let me go back to where we were. Tammy, you can still hear me?
I can.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So folks, make sure you instruct your downline, your new members, to
Mhm.
watch the video. You can see it's very detailed and there's nothing missing. You got exactly the same version here for the Mac. Okay, if you've never seen the mobile, this is really important. The reason why Tammy and I spent a bit of time on this page is because really that's half the battle. Make sure that people install the software. If they install the software and the backup initiates, folks, they're not going to stop their payments because they want to maintain access to the data that they know is safe. Just like right now, many of you may be using Amazon Prime. You might be using Netflix, whatever. I'm just using these two because they're so common. If you want to watch your video, your movies and series, you'll have to pay your $10 a month. Why are you going to pay your $10 a month? Because you are, well, I don't want to say the word addicted, but maybe that's what it is, right? To watching your shows. So if you don't pay your $10, you don't have access to it. That's an emotional connection. People are not going to stop paying because they want access to what they love. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. So why is it that Tammy and I are able to retain a lot of our existing members and customers? It's because their data is safe on the cloud, and they know it's there. And if they need something, God forbid, they delete a file, the computer crash, whatever the situation may be, you can restore and get everything back into your computer, every single files. That's why this is so important. Okay. Now on the cell phone, I want to do the cell phone also. Okay. And on the cell phone, I'm going to use the Apple, but it's exactly the same thing. As a matter of fact, the video is exactly the same for the Apple and the Android. So, but let's just click on this one and let's watch that video. So I'm doing this because I know many of you do not do that. And this is so important to spend time doing this. Okay. Let's watch that.
This is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's two ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool. And then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these three little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these three boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. All right, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now.
So I just want to pause this for a minute. Okay. That's really, really important. And I think this is where most people fail in the attempt of doing the initial install on their cell phones. It is absolutely critical that your phone is plugged in, just like this one over here. Okay. Sorry, my cable is a little short. Just a second. Okay. Oh, okay. So make sure it's plugged in. And from there, you want to make sure that on your phone, for example, I have an iPhone here. Okay. And what I do is when I look at my my screen, okay, I choose the auto lock to be to never. Okay. So it stays on all the time. So on my first upload, okay, if I do my GotBackup, application. So let me use this phone over here. This one is not being used. 1 second. Yeah, I have 2 iPhones, and that's a story for another day. Okay. So from there, let's use this one. Okay. So very important. Okay. So these are my apps. Okay. So I'm going to look for GotBackup. Okay. I make sure that the app is running. Okay. This is my app where all my files are. And you'll notice that all the files all the files I was showing you earlier. Okay. I guess the phone is just confused right now. Just go back. Okay. So all the directories I was showing you earlier are exactly the same directories that's on the cloud. It's an image. Okay. And what I do is I make sure that I click on the 3 little bars over here. Okay. And I click on transfer. This is what's going on here. Okay. Right now, I don't have anything to transfer because everything has been uploaded. And on the cell phone, it's only going to upload all your pictures. It's not going to upload WhatsApp or anything like that. On the phone, it will upload your pictures, your precious pictures and
Photos and videos.
Okay, and it will put them into a subdirectory as under the iPhone. If it's an Android, it will be called Android. And then I leave it on this until the transfer is done. And those of you that does that, and what you see on the screen is exactly what's going on. And until this is done, and I'm monitoring this to make sure that all my files are uploaded. Once it's uploaded, after that, it's a piece of cake. The app just does its thing. But when you have 40,000 pictures or 70,000 pictures, some of you might be even more than that. You have to understand that this is not in a local drive in your home. It's on the cloud in a different country in our case. And also for many of you. So it's going to take time for this to happen. It's going to take time for this to happen. So long story short, what's really important here, and I'm spending time on this, is you want to give your phone a chance to upload everything. The thing with Apple will prioritize apps. And GotBackup, it's simply going to be on the back end if you're running other things. So during the day while you're using your phone and doing things, don't worry about the backup. It's going to do its thing. It's slower, but it's going to do its thing. But once your phone is idle and you're not using it, make sure that it's plugged in again. Make sure the app is running. Put it on the transfer page and let it do its thing and monitor the files that are going up. And when it's done, after that, everything is done automatically. And Joel shows that every single Wednesday evenings, and also on the Friday morning when we present, we share the same thing. Okay. So let's continue with the video. I say it's almost done.
Yeah, and there's a lot of questions here, Chris, that we need to address.
We'll address them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
Okay. So it's a very, very simple thing. But what's important, folks, if your members would simply watch these videos, I would say that 95% of the issues will be addressed. I know Tammy mentioned there's some questions. We'll address them as
well. Be sure to follow up with everybody. When you sign people up, you got to follow up and follow through so that you make sure that everybody is able to get everything set up. If you want to build a powerful team, you got to be engaged in the process. Otherwise, people are constantly falling off regularly. So make sure that you're spending the time to do that, to make sure people are actively doing the uploads and yeah. So okay. Chris, let's go into the questions. Okay. I know that Ramon asked a question.
Right direction, Tammy. Where are we for the question? Which one are we talking about?
Yeah, Ramon is at 10:11 a.m. So if you can go up a bit. He asked if we had a cheat sheet that's going to help with the training. We do not have a cheat sheet. It's a great idea, though. It's a great idea to put this together. I took note of that so that we make sure that that we have more tools for Got Backup. Rolling into 2025, we're going to have a lot of stuff available. Right now, Joel's total focus was to make sure that the software was running smoothly. And it looks like with everything going on with all the new updates and everything, everybody seems to be doing quite well, but we still got to make sure that everybody's using the tools, right? So that's
Correct.
really important.
So
Okay, so
how do you record from your smartphone? Well, folks, this is a detail in reference to your device. We're not going to cover this today. We're talking about GotBackup content. I am in GotBackup. I also paid to make. I also paid to make money. Not sure what should I do. Okay, we'll come back to that, Joe. I'm going to put an asterisk on that because that's a comp plan question. Carol, click on the plus. Okay, let's see here. I haven't been able to find trainings on how to place referrals on the right leg. Okay, Lewis, I'll put a star on that because right now I just want to make sure we're addressing the software. Otherwise, it'll be like a spaghetti training. So let's carry on that. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Thank you, Regeneration Zone. Appreciate you. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, it's carry on. First time I take a long time, but when, yes, that is correct, Regeneration. The first time, that's correct. The first time it'll take a long time, and that's what I was saying earlier. Be patient with the process, folks. Be patient with the process because understand that some of you may have tens of thousands of pictures, and you remember that it's not like 10 years ago, right? Pictures are like gigs of, they're 4 gigs, 5 gigs, 7 gigs, some of them, and some of you can be even more than that. So you got to give it time to upload. Okay. Hello, my question is that how I link my account to my mobile app. I have difficulty to link it. I want to be paying in my local currency. Okay, so now we're dealing with Complan and also software. So at the end of the day, the way this works is you don't have to worry about having your mobile app connected to the cloud, if I'm answering this correctly. When you log in to your account, it knows what your cloud is. And what's going to happen, as I shared with you earlier, when you synchronize, when you run the app on your phone, what's going to happen is you log into your own account and it knows, and it's going to create this directory automatically alongside the directories of my file. So you don't have to worry about that. That's completely automatic. Okay, so that was the question here. That's automatic and it will just appear on the cloud. It's as simple as that. So you don't have to think about this. It's automatic. Okay, so let's carry on.
Chris, if you go up a bit, Lewis asked, haven't been able to find training on how to place referrals on the left or the right. If you go to the FAQ, Chris, it's the time on that one is 10:19. So if you go up a bit, you're going to see Lewis. There we go. So if you go to the FAQ, you're going to see many short videos on the how-tos.
Tammy, tell me how they get to the FAQ.
Okay, on the left-hand bar, you can see, scroll down, it's under business cards.
Business cards?
FAQ.
Folder. FAQ, yes, it's right here. I see what you mean.
There we go, FAQ.
Yeah. Got you.
And that's something that's going to be updated as well. I brought that to Joel's attention. I believe holding tank. There you go. Number 5. So if you go to 5, you're going to see how to do the placements. All right.
So why don't we play this video? How long is this video?
Chris and I did when we first started with Got Backup is we went through the whole back office. Nobody trained us how to do this. We just kind of clicked on everything. And we just watched what was there. So we knew that we had references. So I highly recommend to do that when you have free time. I know it's hard to make time today, but late at night or get up at an extra 30 minutes one morning, just kind of go through the stuff so you know where stuff is. Okay. So when your members ask you where things are, then
let's carry on, Tammy, because we're going to run out of time.
Yeah.
So when you click on the FAQ, go, folks, do that. Yes. Some of you are not aware. Now you're aware on the frequency ask questions and go through some of the common questions. And there are video to walk you through all of this. This one here, the placement is a very, very good one. The holding tank.
Holding tank.
Because this literally answers Lewis's question. It's right over here. Okay. So thank you for
So
that.
go through the questions and anything that's not there. I mean, obviously, we're going to do future trainings to help brand new people. The reason we're doing this is because there's so many new people that have come on board, and they're asking so many questions through the presentations segments on Wednesday night and Fridays that we're doing. So we wanted to make sure we did another recap. So make sure
Okay.
everybody gets this link.
Yeah.
The
So now
training.
let's shift a little. Let's shift gear a little bit. So now we
Okay.
kind of walk you through the FAQ. This here will answer probably most questions that people have
Mhm.
on some difficulties that they're having, and establish some clarity. Okay. So from there, we went through the GotBackup, use this tool, and I installed the software. Now let's shift gear a little bit and go into the business aspect of things. So reseller tools. We're going to select the English version, because it is an English call. And then you have access to all your affiliate links. These are the links that are defined by default the moment that you enroll. Okay. This one here is probably the most commonly used. So if I'm talking to a friend or anybody who's interested, I send them that link. I can copy it. And then from there, you can just make it available or send it to an email or social media. And this is someone that might be interested to consider the business. Okay. So you send them that link, and that's what they will get. And there's a little video that'll be playing. And once they're happy, then they could put their name and their email, and then they stand up into your pre-enrollee list. They haven't paid a dime, but now that you can keep them in touch with what's the next step. We talked about activating, right? So that's where they're going to start receiving those emails. I know the company will automate this for you, but I really highly recommend for you to create your own emails. We even buy the emails that GotBackup has to offer. They will populate for you so that people can start receiving automatic email on your behalf. Okay, as simple as that. So let's go back here. And from there, let's say someone is interested on the product only, really. Okay, they just want to buy the product. So I would send them this link. Okay, and this is the one that I shared with you earlier. In fact, I would go a little further. I would click on this, and when I would copy this as I started a call with this and send them that, it will take them right here. They don't have to click anything.
Mhm.
And if they want to become a customer, I'm going to select the year. Okay. It's really, really simple. And I know this is going to update as we keep moving forward. But if they don't want to become an associate, it's as simple as unclicking that. That's it. That's all. This here is a backup insurance, which is a third-party data center that if, God forbid, something happens to the office of GotBackup, your data is somewhere else also. That's an insurance policy that's entirely up to you. You can choose to keep it on. I know I pay for it every year. It's only $10 a month, but you can also take it off. And then you end up with the year. Now there are customers, and you'll be receiving the 25% from their $9.97 a month, which is close to about $2.50. If you have 50 clients or whatever, 20 clients, that's $50 a month. Do you understand? So people could become clients if they're not interested to become an associate. But just thought of mentioning that while we're here. Okay, so let's go back to the GotBackup site. And then from there, let's say you're doing some Facebook ad campaign. For example, on my social media, I use this link. Why? Because on my social media, I have videos. I might have said something. I don't want them to watch another video. At this point, if they click on the link, obviously they're interested. So I just want their name and their email, and then they will end up in my pre-enrollee list. It's as simple as that, folks. This is how I build my business. Is there anything else, Tammy, you want to add to this?
Yeah, just make sure you have a follow-up system, you guys, because if you're following up with people regularly, they may not respond right away, but keep following up. I think a lot of people give up too soon, and then they're going to hear it down the road, and they remember they heard about this company before, and they end up joining with the new person who just contacted them. So if you don't have a good follow-up system, and regularly following up through the email marketing, the lead capture system there that Chris is sharing. There's a training just on that. Chris is going to go to the training segment because people were asking, Chris, we don't need to go through that. There's too much going on here.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of questions. So yeah, so that's there. And then Chris, back.
So before we go any further, So what's happening here, folks, is the email that I was referring to. I just want to point this out. When you go under message and you click on follow up, again, we have some trainings. I'm going to point you where these trainings are in 1 minute here, is maybe less than that. You notice the pre-enrollee right over here. Okay. And you'll notice that when you do it, you may have nothing in here. These are the emails I created. Okay. And what's happening is you can see the open rate and so forth. Again, I'm not going to do a training on this, but here's what I want to point out to you. Okay. If I go to YouTube, okay, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're going to the GVO YouTube channel. So I can click on that. Okay. That's the GVO. And I'm going to save that link. I'm going to put it in the chat. And I know there's some comments, there's some questions, comments. I'll address that in a minute here, guys. Okay. So I just put the link here. You want to bookmark this. And if you go under playlists, okay, you'll see that there's choices. Now, what I'm referring to here are the trainings. Okay. If you click on the full playlist, see, once this training is finished, you'll see it'll be on the top here. But this is a training we did last week, the week before. This is the announcement that Joel did for the new app that was introduced and so forth. And you can see here, you can also look for content that might be relevant to you. So let's go down a little bit here. And if you go back to mastering email marketing and content creation with GotBackup and ChatGPT, I highly recommend you check this out, folks. I'm going to take the time. I'm going to actually copy this link. Okay. And I'm going to put that also right into the comment area. Okay. I suggest that you bookmark this one because this will expand what I'm talking about here and how I created the email with the use of ChatGPT. You know, there's a free version, there's a paid version, depending on how much you want, how sophisticated you want to be. But the bottom line, even you don't have to pay a dime. You're paying your $10 a month and you have access to all this stuff, folks. So the knowledge is power. You don't have to pay a dime. You have to pay extra money. You just need to understand how things work. Okay. And from there, this is very important. So the people that opt in on the links that are in my affiliate links that I shared with you a moment ago, and the moment they put their name and email, they start receiving this. Okay. And that's when every emails, for example, if I click on this one, this is a video that Tammy and I did. And on that training, we'll show you how we did that. And look what happened. In the email, if I click on this, where does it take them? Activate. Boom. You remember the link I was telling you about? That's the one I'm talking about. So we're teaching you this in these calls. Okay, so maybe I might be answering some questions that some of you may have. Okay. Anything else, Tammy, you want to add to this, or you want to move on to something else?
Yeah, go to 1038.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I got the sun in my eyes.
1038, 1038,
Ricardo.
I'm getting there. Ricardo. Okay. Let's go. Go ahead, Tammy. Can you specify when you start the initial backup, what to backup daily? No, it's just it's basically going to back up your entire computer. The reason is the moment you give people option, people get confused. So what happens is you click backup and everything goes on the cloud. And then you can choose. There's so much space here, folks. You can choose what you want to bring back. And there's other features that are coming up very soon that are going to be really, really cool. Anything else, Tammy?
Yeah, go above. I know he asked that on the
number
Wednesday night as well at 1036.
Okay, 1036.
Bakshi, that's
Bakshi,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, maybe Chris. I think a lot of people don't understand the ticket. I know we've done trainings on that, but
I see.
If you created a ticket in support, there's a recorded part. So go back to that to make sure that because they respond and people don't know.
Let's address it, Tammy.
Yes.
So if I click on support, okay, what's going to happen? And this is where I think we see very common challenges where people expect the company will just send them an email. No. In fact, I'm using another company called Body Boss to deal with certain things. They're not sending me emails. I have to go back to the ticket I submitted. They won't tell me what's going on. The reason why is because they have clients from all over the world, just like GotBackup. So you have to click on support. It will take you to the ticket area. And if you submitted a ticket, you can click on that. Okay. And all these tickets you submitted, well, you can choose, is it general support? Is it a billing issue? For example, there's some billing issues that happen sometime, or customer support. You want to utilize those. And then you want to view your tickets. You click on view your tickets and they will be listed over here. Okay. I've never had to issue in a ticket. I never had really had issue I couldn't resolve. But the fact here is they're all going to be here. And when you click on the live chat, depending on their availability. So if I click on department, at the moment, they're offline. Okay. Sometime you'll notice that they're online and you can address them. But again, it's just some examples. Okay. So let me go back. Okay. Back to the member area. Anything else, Tammy, on that?
No,
I want to go back to the
we're
comp plan.
fine. Yeah. And if we miss some of you, let us know. Just keep putting it in. Do you keep the same app?
Okay. So this one here, Joe, do we keep the same app for the new update, or is it the same output? Okay. Right now, the way this works is the same app. Like I'm running this app, the original one. If you're brand new here, don't worry about this. Okay. There was another version. I run both. They don't interfere. Okay. But eventually what they're going to do is they're going to migrate the older version, the one that does the backup. Every time you add one file, it takes that file and brings it up. Okay. Now with the full backup, it just takes everything and it puts everything back, and it does incremental backups. So every time you add a file, it will add it to the master backup. But the other is you can run both. I run both right now, but eventually what they're doing is they're gonna merge those two. And if you go back to the cloud, okay. So if I go back here, GBU cloud, okay, this is my cloud, okay. So there's companies right now. It's really interesting where, I mean, all they do is they sell the backup. That's all they do. Okay. GotBackup has so much more. It's unbelievable. And then you'll be able to collaborate. Okay. And I don't know how GotBackup is going to be handling all of this, but then this here are all the files that came with the older version. Okay. And the new version, this is the one that's over here. And all your files are there. Of course, I can restore files as I see fit, and I go back to the app to be able to access them. Okay, so I don't know if this clarified things a little bit, but let's move on to the compensation plan. Time. We spent a lot of time right now on this.
There's just a couple more important questions,
Go ahead.
Chris. There, we've got a Divine
Give me a
who's
time.
yeah, that's 1043. Do we get paid on non-members? You see that one? Okay.
Yeah. So do we get paid on non-members joining if you have not ranked yet? Yes. What you get paid on is, for example, if they're not okay, and make sure I understand the question, because your question could be interpreted different ways. So a non-member, are you talking about a customer that's not a member?
Yes.
Okay. So what's happening here is if I have a customer that choose to come in, you will earn 25% from the 97.95 or 97.97 or 9.97, excuse me. Okay. So from there, what happens is, let's say let's round this up to $10. It'll be $2.50 every time someone is a non-member who chooses to use the product, just like you pay for Netflix, right? You're not an associate with Netflix. You're just using a service. Other people are going to use a GotBackup just as a service. You will earn that every single month. So hopefully that answers the question.
Some people are just building a customer base, so you don't have to be at a rank to earn from customers.
Correct. Okay. You do not need to have a rank. This is the CAB, the customer acquisition bonus. You do not need a rank for that. You get the income every time someone adds on. You're going to get the 200% and a 50%. So let's get into the compensation plan. Let's cover that. So how do I access this information? Let's get rid of some of the files that are a directory. Okay, some of the sites, and let's get into extra promo tool
training, but we'll take them to the 4 benchmarks.
Okay, let me just get rid of that. Just a moment. I don't need this. Oops. Okay, GotBackup, extra promo tool. Okay. Now, this here, okay, let me get rid of this one. Okay. When you click on this link here, it will take you to this GotBackup Cloud, and you have different languages. I will select English. Okay. What time is it right now? 10:54. God, it goes fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go into the benchmarks, Chris.
So here's what's very important in a compensation plan. If you go to the benchmark, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. This
And I
here,
recommend while Chris is doing that, download the PDF, go back to the extra promo tools, watch the video that Eve is doing on the compensation plan. So you can watch it and you've got your PDF at the same time. And that's how you learn the compensation plan. So let's go ahead, Chris, with benchmarks.
so on the benchmarks, you want to make sure that you focus on this here. And every Friday time we talk about it. Okay. Copper, copper, copper. So how do you want to move up in rank? You want to duplicate this with every single person you sponsor. Enroll one on your left, one on the right. That's what you need to know. And repeat the process again. Another one on the left, another one on the right. And then you want to make sure that these people are also duplicating the same thing. What happens is by default, this is going to grow. It's not about you bringing 25 people. It's about you bringing a few people and having other people bring a few people and other people bringing a few people. And that's what will increase this number. That's what this comes from. Now, we also recommend for you to go get a total of 10 people. Why do we do this? Let me show you the logic. This comp plan is absolutely brilliant. Okay. So what's happening here is we're teaching you. Let me just go all the way to this slide over here, the rank grid. Okay. You notice over here, we suggest for you to get one on the left, one on the right, and repeat it again. Why do we ask you to do that? Look at the placement requirements all the way from copper to black diamond. You see, this doesn't change. Once you've accomplished that, check mark, done. That placement, you never have to worry about it again unless someone stops. So I do recommend maybe to bring more in case someone decides to quit. But as long as you got two on your left, two on your right. So this is why we say become copper and repeat it. So you have two people on your left, two people on your right, you're personally enrolled. Why do we suggest for you to go get 10 people? Because we're preparing you to qualify for Emerald. So you can benefit from the compensation plan sooner. So if you get your 10 people, then Platinum, Sapphire, Emerald, it stays the same. Okay. Why do we recommend for you to help people become copper? Because for you to move up in rank, it's all based on the fact that you are duplicating coppers in your business. Look at a goal here. You have sponsored 5 people, 2 on your left, 2 on your right. Okay. That's where it begins as a goal. And you want to have 3 coppers. Okay. And separate enrollment tree. So let me rephrase that. So you want to have, if you look at this, the image over here to become a goal, the green circles happens to be you. Let me rephrase that. Happens to be your personals. You're here in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what it says. But you also need to have 3 coppers. One of your personal happen to be a copper, but they don't have to be personal. Look at this one. That's not one of your personal, but it's coming from someone that you brought in. It counts. Same thing here. That's not one of your personal, but they sponsor someone, they became copper. This happens a lot. When the system recognizes that you have 3 coppers and there's 25 people on your team. Why? Because these people are all duplicating. This one didn't do it. This one did it. These one didn't do it. This one definitely did it, and so forth. But then the total is 25 people. And to go back to this grid here, this is exactly what this means. And you want to have 1 copper in 3 separate enrollment tree. And all the way from gold to black diamond, it's always the same story. There are just more coppers. Okay. To become a platinum, there's 1 more copper coming from your enrollment tree. As a sapphire, 1 more copper coming from your enrollment tree. And if you prefer another version of this, okay, if I go back here and you go to English, Eve did a great training on the compensation plan here. If you don't understand, what do I mean? What am I talking about when I talk about alignment enrollment? Click this video. And some people are asking me about, where do you get the video when you present? Well, here it is, right there. That's the tool. What some of you are saying, is there some marketing video? Yes, of course. Here's an awesome video here that I use in my emails. Okay. This is a phenomenal video that attracts attention, right? So again, it's just an example. So let's go back. Okay. So everything is available. Everything is available. You just choose. Back to the compensation plan. This is the key. The secret is to, first of all, your personal enrollment will count. And the key is to duplicate coppers. That's what we talk about, copper. The more you move up in rank, you notice that the copper enrollment increases. And as you're doing these things and duplicating, you know that this numbers is going to start increasing automatically. What I mean by automatically is if people bring 2 people every time they come in, you understand that it compounds. If you have 10 people, they each become copper, well, just multiply 10 by 2, right? So it becomes really interesting how it grows. So if all of those 10 bring 2 people, so this becomes, the number becomes quite significant. And this is how this all works. And the number will automatically grow. So don't worry so much about the amount of people you have in your team. Focus on producing coppers. Every time you enroll someone, that they understand, install the software and become copper. And by default, what's going to happen is these numbers are going to grow and your rank is going to grow. And then what's happening is the compensation plan will open up to you. And what's really interesting, as you move up in ranks, you see that if you're getting cycle tier 1, is because you're remaining a copper, right? And a silver means that you have one person that became copper, and then you became gold. But as a gold, there are some benefits with the gold, because as a gold associate, if you look at the compensation plan, and maybe I'm confusing some of you by moving a little too quick here, you can pause the video, absorb, and play again. But as a goal, there are other benefits that are going to be. If I scroll down as a gold, okay, look what's happening. At one point, there was a question by, let me go back to the question that was referenced here. I think it was Lewis. Okay, Lewis says, I have 400 non-personal referral all in my right leg. That's for you. Okay. Now, here's what happens. If you happen to be a gold, you can start benefiting 3 generations. So you know those 400 people, depending on how many goals there are there, because you're allowed to start recruiting, you start accumulating 2.5%. 2.5% from all the $10 that are from your position all the way to 400. Now, if there are some goals in between, it will stop, because you're allowed 3 generations. And this is what the comp plan explains over here, right? So if this is you, then it's going to count all the $10 over here, 2.5% times the amount of $10 you got over here. There's a second goal here. Okay, it's going to go over here. And there's a third goal, and then you can go all the way up to 4 generation. That's what I mean by generation. And again, Eve explains that in her video into more details. And I know that Tammy and I also did a training on maximizing the compensation plan. And folks, I don't expect you to fully understand this on this one call. Our goal here, our goal with Tammy and I, because right now we're reaching the top of the hour here. Our goal with Tammy and I is to open your eyes on the possibilities. But the key to success, and that's the reason why some of us are reaching triple diamonds. I'm working really hard to get to my blue diamond. I need 35 personally sponsored. I need 2 on your left, 2 on your right. I need to make sure that I have 8 coppers and 8 different enrollment trees. So out of the 35 people I sponsored, I need to make sure that at least 8 lines, if I may specify that in lines, there's at least 8 copper down the line. And the reason why I'm there already, it's because that's how I build my business. I duplicate coppers. Every time someone signs up or anywhere, every time someone helps someone to sign up, I make sure they understand the benefit of copper. And these numbers, I don't look at those. I don't have to, because these numbers grew automatically by having people duplicating. And this is how this works. So is there any question, Tammy, that maybe we can address as we end here?
Yeah, I was just looking at one from Divine.
Give me a time.
Please repeat. No, that wasn't it. Sorry.
We're going a little bit longer here, folks, because we just want to address some of your questions.
She was talking about the non-member. Oh, wait. Oh, gosh.
Give me a time, Tammy.
Sorry, guys. There was so many. She was talking about the emails, Chris, that, when you get emails that somebody signed up, but they're not personal to you. She was asking questions about that one. Non-members, they join.
Okay. When it comes to emails, if you didn't sponsor the person, it's as simple as that. Okay.
Okay. 1054, Chris. It's Divine. It says.
Let me move Lewis here.
She's asking, it's coming up in her email notification saying, "Congrats, you have
1055. I'm looking for 1055. 1055. I got 1054.
Divine, yeah.
Which one, Tammy? What's the name?
Divine. Come up in
Divine.
My email.
Is it this one?
No.
Okay, I need a time because I can't see it.
It is 1054, Chris. She might have done a couple of things. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, because people might ask that question too, because they've asked me these questions.
Oh, okay. Well, what happens here, Miss Divine, is when you have, because I receive those emails all the time too. Mm-hmm. Every 2 minutes, there's one coming in all the time. Okay. And what happens here is this counts in what we call spillover. Mm. It will count for you on these bonuses over here. When we talked about, let me just go back here. Okay. When we talk about generation bonus, you'll benefit from that. It will also benefit you on the cycles, because the cycles, it counts the amount of people on the left and on the right. So the spillover will count also, because it always looks for 4 and 2, 1 cycle, 4 and 2, 1 cycle. So you may want to focus your attention on the other side where there's not as much spillover.
Yeah, we recommend to go through the compensation plan, you guys. You got to know the basics of that.
Yeah. So I highly recommend here, folks, is click on the extra promo tools. Okay. Because you can see, folks, we could go on for hours. It's still not going to be enough. And you click on English. And watch these videos. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if I go back to the link that I provided with the GotBackup YouTube channel, which this one over here. Okay. If you go back and click on this link over here, all the trainings are there. And I want to point this out to you. We'll finish on this note, because even though we may not have answered your question specifically, understand that there's trainings that we've already covered on this. And I really recommend that you go through this particular training over here for the compensation plan if you have not seen it. It's the one that says master. 1 second here. When you look for something, it's just hard to find when you're rushing. Okay, almost there. The one
There's
one
more question that I want to address while you're doing that, Chris, that I think is very important for new people. So 1054, it's debt-free grandma. She asked, if I back up my files, can I still access them from my laptop, desktop, downloads, etc., or do I have to go to the cloud? You see that one?
So debt-free man?
Debt-free grandma.
Oh, debt-free grandma.
1054.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
So if I back up my file, can I still access them from my laptop, desktop? Yes, absolutely. Okay. If you go back to these, I recommend that you watch the actual video that we shared with you earlier. You go under use this tool, and depending on the time it's going to take me to get there, I think the
You
systems
don't
are
need to
busy.
go there,
Here we
Chris,
go.
but yeah.
Okay. No, but it's again, it just helps out. It points out.
Okay.
And when you click on here, you're going to see that there's the videos. Watch that video again, because this will answer your question.
You're
It
not
shows
showing
you
it.
how you can pick the files that you want from the master backup and bring them back to your computer. Okay. It's all there. Okay. So, folks, listen, we can go on and on and on and on here. And we hope that you got some good tips from this training. What I recommend here, folks, is go through some of the trainings that we've done. At one point, there's a training, I couldn't find it right now, but it's there. How to maximize or master the compensation plan. Forgot how I called it, but it's around. You can scroll them. It's there, very, very clear. How to create my emails. There's one with the ChatGPT, what I pointed out earlier. There's a lot of content there, folks, and you have to take the time to do your homework. This is not a lottery ticket. It's a legitimate business. It's important that you do your homework, and this is going to class and learn the process, because all the information is at your fingertips. Okay. So we really believe in the future of GotBackup. Why? Because it's a service that everyone needs. It's in trend with the way business is conducted today, utilizing cloud services. And as GotBackup evolve with the AI capability, folks, lots of fun stuff are going to come up. In the same time, we have an income opportunity for you to be compensated to bring customers on board. So the company will share a percentage of their revenues with the associates, and it's quite lucrative, up to 75%. This is unheard of. And the reason why they're capable of doing that is because they're not dealing with physical products that they need to deal with the administrating nightmare of delivering these products all over the world. It is a digital product that can easily be downloaded wherever you are on the planet. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. And one thing that's really important here, I think that you should be aware of, I'll finish on this note. When you go into your business, there are at one point live webinars. Okay. If you click on that, it's going to take you to the different presentations that are available. So if you click on the English, for example, it will point you to the schedule as to where everything is taking place. Okay. And there's many languages. We have French that are also available here. Okay. And we need more French presenters. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's carry on. And Italian.
All languages. We need more presenters. You know,
That's
we should
correct.
do a training, Chris, on presenting.
Absolutely. In fact,
That
that's
would
what
be
I like to do, is
phenomenal.
to do a training on presenting effectively.
So you guys can be master presenters in 2025.
Very, very
Those who are presenting regularly, it's easy to go out and connect with people, because it's just embedded in your blueprint on how to share this business, right? If you do this constantly out there, through your connections, through your social media connections, just go lives, all kinds of stuff that's going to get you practicing on how to do this.
Okay, folks. So listen, have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. I think we provided you a lot of information here for you to start digging into and answering some of your questions. If they're not answered, folks, my recommendation here is there's the customer service support. Go up to your uplines or the Telegram group here. There are also a lot of support that we provide. Understand that we don't deal with administrating details, but we recommend for you to go into the Telegram group there, so you're aware of everything that's going on. And I know that many leaders have their own respective groups, which is Facebook Messenger. It could be WhatsApp, Telegram, and so forth. And also the Facebook group that is provided with GotBackup, which here you have access to all the events that are taking place and everything that's happening regularly. Okay. So have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. And we look forward to see you soon. Okay. And bye for now.
Have a great weekend.